Hello, this is Michael Wolf Parsons at Wolf Customs in Neosho, Missouri. I have the infamous Jimmy Doc Parsons behind the camera. Say hey.
Hi.
So this is video number 2 for the day. I haven't posted anything on Facebook for almost 4 weeks, and I've been busy, but all the things I've been working on are very subtle, so I kind of left everybody hanging for a while, and because you just didn't see big changes. But I'm here to tell you that here in the next few weeks, you'll start seeing the big changes. So the whole goal right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get all the welding done on the roof and trying to get everything on the interior taken care of so I can take it apart. And then we purchased lizard skin product for sound deadening and heat control, and then we're going to follow that up with Raptor bed liner. So once I get that sprayed out, then I take all these pieces that I've been working on so hard, and then everything will start bolting together, and I'll do the wiring and we'll be on the road. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. I always say it'll take me a couple weeks to do this or that, and then it ends up being 2 months. So with that being said, I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to walk around and talk about things that I've been working on. Okay, so the interior is almost finished. I started from scratch on the dash. Let me sit in here. So this is what it's going to kind of look like sitting in the driver's seat. Of course, I showed this in an earlier video that actually sits on a pedestal with a Lazy Susan bearing, and that way Jimmy can turn it over and look at gauges from his perspective. I've made bezels. This is where our defrost is going to go through. These boxes here are what I'm going to put my switches in. And my thinking on this is like the gauges is like a modular thing that sits on top of my doghouse. Well, I wanted a modular feeling for like controls. So this control is going to be like the ignition on and the start. And a good friend gave me this really cool industrial Allen Bradley push button switch, and I'm going to use that for the starter switch. I just think it's kind of neat. And then down here on this box, this will be all my lights and so on and so forth. I can also adjust these up and down to whatever angle. For this box, this is going to be a neat feature. I found these on eBay, and these are toggle switch guards, and they're reproductions of the guards that were on the space shuttle. I think it's just going to add a nice little detail. The shifter bezel is finished. So in past, I would have made something maybe at an angle, weld it together, maybe mitered the corners, and weld tabs on the bottom. And I wanted to do something a little bit nicer this time. And so with the burn table, I cut out this panel out of 14 gauge and made it where I can bend these tabs over, because the shifter bolts on it attaches like with bolts on the side. So that's just kind of a neat feature. It's just a one-piece bezel and bracket. Again, the odometer and speedometer go here, so I've made these bezels for all the gauges. And the dash will be painted the OD green, like that panel. And I have worked on the seats. So we used seats out of I believe some kind of a Dodge Caravan. And the way I had to do this, the Humvees, for being as big a body as they are, you'd think they'd have lots of room, but they don't. And one thing that people do, they sometimes remove this brace to be able to fit a seat in there, make it more accommodating, more leg room. And I just didn't like that idea at all. So my idea is I have my lower cushion, and then I'm going to wrap this brace with some upholstery, and then the top part of the seat sits on this bracket, and the upper part of the seat lays back against this rest here. So the bottom, I can lift these out of the way, and the driver's side didn't have a box underneath the driver's seat. The passenger side Humvees have a box, and it's for the batteries, but I took that box out and I had to remake it. Anyway, here are my versions of the box, and I put locating tabs on 4 of them on top, and those fit into holes on the bottom of the seats. So I can just take the cushion off, and then, you know, when I'm sitting in it and buckled, they're not going to go anywhere. I added an extra piece of aluminum to make that floor pan more rigid. One thing I had to do, my firewall is just a little bit different here, and with the emergency brake in the stock location up here, my handle hit my firewall. So I moved the handle back about 8 inches, and then made a new bezel, and then you can't see it, but I had to make a block off plate for the factory hole. And there's the back seat. I need to finish up, pull some of this upholstery around, tidy that up a bit. Now, I wanted to do a brace across for a couple reasons. The roof is going to have a tendency, there's a lot of weight on the roof, and I didn't want it to, like, as if the roof wanted to like kind of sag in the middle, which it hasn't, but if it did later on down the road, it would sag in the middle and perhaps want to push these posts out. So I decided to help tie the B-pillars together and make it more rigid and put this brace across. And gave me a place for grab bars for the back seaters. And then I figure military has designations for everything. This is my designation. It's Humvee, and then fast moving, high performance 472. It's my personal joke. This side of the roof is finished. I put scoops in it. They're functional to bring air in the back. In the wintertime, I put a plate back here, and that'll seal that off. And I will skin this roof from the bottom and the top. And one more detail. I made a grab bar for the passenger, and it goes on this side of the dash, obviously, and bolts on the dash, and a reminder just to hang on. And my passenger side seat bracketry. The Humvee had holes everywhere for different things, so I made small tabs and put panel bond adhesive and rivet them in place to seal everything off. Of course, there's the big block Ford 472. Has all the cool stuff in it. It'll be a beast. And back up. I have the aluminum cut for the roof, and it's over there. And anyway, that's maybe I will go ahead and show this off. I cut this yesterday with the burn table, and there was a little bit different procedure for cutting 20 gauge aluminum that has been painted. But those are my two pieces. So thanks for watching, and I promise I'll be putting up more updates. Give me about 2 weeks and the interior of this will be coated, and I'll be doing the final assembly. Thanks and have a great day.